What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for MicroStrategy Incorporated with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So let's take a look at one of our favorite stocks on this channel, which is MicroStrategy. And make sure you guys leave a comment down below. I reply to every comment, so any value you can provide, any question, comment, or concern, please leave in the comments down below. Also, make sure you give the video a like. The more likes it gets, the more the YouTube algorithm pushes it out. And maybe eventually Michael Saylor might even watch one of these videos. Who knows, right? So let's take a look at the daily chart. Let's go over the technicals. Well, I did it yesterday. It looks like price was headed towards that, high 300, low $400 level. This red circle right here, because it's at the upper side of this long-term yellow uptrend channel. So that was the target. It looks like we came very close. 383, put a new all-time high in, and then sold off right at that moment. Looks like price closed right at the prior all-time high back in 2000. I believe it was March, the month, at this 328, 330 level, and price just closed right at that level. So it looks like this was probably a breakout, a retest pattern. Whenever price breaks out of a level, a lot of times it likes to come back to test that level. So let's say right over here, this was the prior peak, and if I draw a horizontal line across, you can see what happens right here. Price, this was prior resistance here, price broke out, and then at least in the short term, it tested that level, and then it led to a large rally. So you'll see that a lot of times. Look at this peak right here. Price broke out of this peak in this uptrend, tested it, rallied higher. You can just go back and forth. This peak right here, this one right here, price broke out. It tried to test it. It was too strong of a breakout, and then price continued up higher. So it's not all the time you're going to see price retest the level, but in this case, it did. So is this the over for the uptrend, at least in the short term? Or are we going to still see higher prices? Well, as right now, it looks like we're still going to see higher prices. In the short term, we're still above this uptrend line right here, and we're still above this trend line right here, and we have not hit the top side of the channel 100%. So there's still a little bit of room left. I mean, you could probably adjust the channel a little bit lower and argue that we have got rejected from it, but we won't know for sure until we see continuation. So as right now, it still looks like we have a little bit more room to the top side of the yellow channel, and since we're still above the trend lines, it's still a bullish sign. If price gets below the 327 level aggressively, and we see price continue to have red bars, then that's not a good sign. But just one day is not a big deal. It's kind of like how you drive your car to the store. Let's say you drive your car on the line on the side of the road. Well, does that mean you're not going to the store? No, it just means you're a little bit off track and you need to correct. So same thing like this. So it was going towards the top side of the channel. It got a little bit off track, and we'll see if it will correct or not, or it will take a different road. So as right now, it's still on track to reach the upper side of the channel. And I'm not going to be saying, this is the top as of right now, because that's a very low probability of picking a top, and I don't think it is going to happen as of right now. So it looks like this is probably a breakout, pullback, retest, and then resumption of the uptrend. So we'll see if that happens. But again, if we see price get below the 328 level, it gets over to this channel, this trend line right here, there's a possibility that it might be broken because we were overextended. We're at the prior all-time high, which can act as resistance. So if price sold off at this level in the past, there's a good chance it could sell off again. So that's why we need to monitor it. So we'll see what happens. But as right now, it looks like uptrend in short term and long term is still in play, and this could be just a breakout pullback, more likely than not. So let's take a look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart shows that we have a candlestick, kind of like a tail bar, meaning like whenever it breaks out of a prior high and you see the tail bar, it could lead to a reversal. Just like over here, it was a tail bar, and look what's happening right over here, another tail bar. You could also call this a up thrust, stop hunt, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's so many names for these candles. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's just like what the candle is doing. So basically, you see price broke out of that prior all-time high, but now it's closing back below it, which is showing signs of strength by the bears, signs of weakness by the bulls. So this was the prior all-time high, and you can see that we're getting rejected right from that level. Just a minor rejection, and this momentum can still continue to push up higher. So we'll see what happens. As right now on the weekly chart, like I said before, on the daily chart, it looks like we could have hit the top side of the channel, and we could see the sell-off. but I don't want to call that until we see a break of this trend line right here that I mentioned on the daily chart. But as right now, I would hold on. I mean, it could definitely correct lower. If it does hit one side of the channel, where does it go? Normally to the opposite side, which could take it to a nice pullback area, to buy the dip, you could say, and continue on with the uptrend. Because overall, the trend is up, right? It's making higher highs, higher lows. It's in a bull cycle. Most likely, we'll see higher prices. So this could just be a buying opportunity if we do see a nice decline, and monitor the price action in this downtrend and see if that uptrend will override that downtrend to resume the trend up. If that pullback terminates at the right spot on the chart, and you can capitalize on it. So we'll see what happens. But as right now, this is looking like I said, it's a red flag. It's like a car drifting on the side of the road. It just needs to course correct. It's still on track to reach the course, but drifting on the side of the road means it could fall over in the creek, right? Or it just takes another road, and that takes longer to get to the destination, right? Like we know it's going to be headed higher, but it might take longer. It might take a detour. It might come back down and then go back up. So it could do something like that. So we'll monitor this, but that's all I have on the daily and weekly charts. We'll see if this aggressive selling picks up, or this is just very short term, because you could adjust the channel a little bit higher and we still have a little bit of room left. You could adjust a little bit lower. It looks like we just get rejected. So we'll see what happens. But as right now, I'm optimistic because we're above the bullish trend line right over here, and we're still in a long-term uptrend. But me personally, if I do want to pick up some shares, I want to wait for a bigger pullback. So I need to wait for something sub 200. I mean, that would be a very good zone, to see if the trend will terminate, the short-term trend. So what you want to see is, let's say the trend is starting to get aggressive. You want to see it come to a nice level where it could find support at, and watch it, right? You don't want to see it, stay strong. You want to see it get weak at this level so the level can reverse it. If you see it staying strong, that means it could break it and still continue to trend lower. So we'll see what happens. But as right now, this could be, just a trap for the shorts, thinking that we're at the top and we're gonna go down. But it is definitely a pullback of a breakout, and we'll see if the breakout will hold or it's gonna fail. Right now, it looks like it's holding because it's above the level. But if it starts getting below it, starts breaking the trend line, then the breakout failed, and we should be seeing a short-term downtrend. But I'll give you guys an update most likely tomorrow. That's all I have for MicroStrategy and the daily weekly charts. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.